Okay. I'm here at EluxCon with artist Michelle Mrowka. Thank you for speaking with me.
Thank you for speaking with me as well.
I'd like to start by asking, is there an artwork here you're most proud of and why?
That would be the Resonance one, the very top one with the red.
Okay.
I am most proud of that piece because it was a very passionate story for me, and the application of it I spent the most effort and the most time in. It was based on the story of Echo and Narcissus.
Okay.
Which is love, beyond love.
Okay.
And I really took the time to try to capture, even after the tragedy of the story of her trying to pull him from the water.
Mm-hmm. And how long did that piece take you?
I would say between 40 and 50 hours total.
Oh, okay. How do you know when a work is finished?
A work is never finished.
Ah.
But you get to a point where you look at it and you say, can I walk away from this?
Mm-hmm.
And I was at a point where I was like, yeah, there's 3 or 4 things I could keep doing, but I get the feeling that I intended when I went into this painting, looking at it now, and that's where I decided that it was finished.
Okay. So what inspires you?
Everything. Absolutely everything. But what inspires me to paint is usually positivity, passion, love. That usually is what gives me the goosebumps more than anything.
Okay.
Always striving, always driving. In any of my paintings, there's always somebody or something striving to grow, get better, do something magnificent.
Okay. And so what inspired, I know you said it was based on a specific mythological story. What inspired you to do that one?
Love.
Okay.
She loved him so much that she wasn't willing to accept the reality of their situation. She couldn't speak. Mm-hmm. He was in love with his own reflection, and she loved him so much she stayed with him even after. The whole story was so romantic to me that I had to paint it.
Okay. What is your most important artist tool? Is there something you can't live without in your studio?
Other than the basics, I would say a maul stick.
Okay.
Being able to get in and personal with my painting without fudging it up.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Is there an element of art you enjoy working with most, and why?
Explain. Element as in?
So it could either be a medium or something in the process of creating.
Yes, I very much like washing a medium base before I start applying paint. I do 7 layers. And before every layer I take a nice medium base and then I smooth it down and then I start applying paint almost as if it's wet on wet. And everything glides very smoothly, it dries very evenly, and it's my favorite part of each layer, each process.
Okay. How did you start making art, and why do you make art?
Since I could hold a crayon.
Okay.
Self-taught. I didn't get a college education in fine arts. Since I could hold a crayon, and every picture I do, I try to do it better every time.
Okay. What role does the artist have in society?
A lot. An artist can send a message to a public with just a visual. They can inspire people to feel a certain way. They can create a level of comfort among people who feel unrest. I think that they play a very important role in mainly inspiration and just enjoyment among the public. I think that without art, a lot of messages would be unclear. I think having that visual representation of what somebody's trying to get across is very important.
Okay. What movies, books, or other artwork in science fiction or fantasy have inspired you?
Oh my, that's a very long list. Okay. Books, as a child, started with Stephen King. based, and then I went into Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, and then movies. I mean, there's Hellboy, there's Pacific Rim. I think they were more comic based for the movies that inspired me the most, honestly.
Okay.
All the newer stuff that's out is Guardians of the Galaxy is amazing. I love the fantasy work in all the movies today.
So would you say it's more the visuals of the movies then, or the stories?
Both.
Okay.
I was a heavy video gamer, and what always captivated me was the story had to be strong, gritty, passionate, but the visuals had to be beautiful to translate the story.
Okay. Any particular video games?
Oh yes. Oh yes. Final Fantasy VII was my ultimate favorite.
Okay.
I did a lot of RPG playing. I'm now more into shooter based. I play like Destiny 2.
Okay.
And I like Ark Survival Evolved because you can explore. You can go anywhere on the map. It's free range, and you can just see these beautiful, mind-blowing landscapes and these crazy animals and fantasy animals and prehistoric animals that don't even exist in reality. And there's no linear path. You get to just free explore.
Yeah. Okay. Is there an art piece you'd like to create that you haven't done so yet, and what is it?
My newest passion is I want to be able to capture a twisting form with a lot of movement, with a lot of vibrant color, with a nice high gloss, I would say. And I imagine them slowly moving and turning and capturing just this moment of this amazing posture, figurative, I would say. And the story that I think I'm going to base my first one on that inspired me is the Greek story of Persephone and Demeter, a mother-daughter.
Okay.
I would like to capture, they were the story that explained the seasons, and I want to capture them in a very passionate pose with the elements around them changing.
Oh, that would be really cool.
That's where I'd like to go next.
Okay. Well, that's all the questions I have. Do you have any last words, or is that...
I just hope everybody keeps creating and keeps getting inspired by those creations to create even more.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Please visit chrisalvarez.com for more cool stuff. That's CRISALVAREZ.com. Thanks for listening, and keep imagining the future.